Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today's deck profile we've got for you, we're taking a look back at X-antibody, but instead of it just being a pure focused Alphamon build, we're going on a more focused on the Dorugoramon route that you can take. Now the builds are very similar as we are limited on what kind of black X-antibody support we can use, but I would say the overall feel and just design of playing it this way is vastly different from playing the Alphamon focused way. Now I've got two different builds for you. We're going to go over the main one, which is more of a control, since Dorugoramon can do a bit more control than Alphamon can, whereas Alphamon's really aggro, being able to attack twice, that sort of thing, and gaining memory back to go into a Grumblemon to win. This is going to be more of a control focused build. Now that said, I do have a build at the end, just a couple tweaks that you can do to make it more of an aggro build if you want to, just something else to kind of take a look at as an alternative. Don't forget, our new memory marker that we got this month is a Digimon. So if you're playing some Imperial or Armor Rush, this is a fantastic memory marker for that. This guy is super cute, handmade out of clay by my wife, hand painted as well with that cute adorable face, super detailed. So it's like one of our, like, take his head and that's like all of our other memory markers, but now he's got like a whole body to go with him with the tail and everything. Very cute, awesome, great memory marker for sure. Good value in this too, because that deck's gonna be relevant. Both those decks will be relevant for quite some time. You can find that on our Etsy page, link in the description below. Also there you can find all of our previous memory markers that we've had on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. Alright, so I've got the whole deck pulled up for you guys so you can just kind of see it all as we go along, so that way it makes sense, some of the choices we've made. For babies, we've just got the 4 Dorugoramon. This is like by far and large the best baby you can possibly have for X-antibody, because your turn once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw one. Anytime you have to use hand resources just to slap underneath, you need to be able to draw to recur those hand resources. Like, that's super fundamental. If you don't, you're gonna run out of hand resources so fast, and you're just gonna be like up a creek at that point. So Dorugoramon is super essential. This is the only baby you really want to see. None of the others are really worth it. Also, we're not doing just a ton of Evo promote. Like, you kind of hide in raising area a little bit with both this deck as well as the Alphamon deck. So this is going to be your main go-to baby for sure. And then also kind of really goes right along with that. We got the Dorugoramon here as our rookie. He has the inheritable of once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, gain 1 memory. So instead of draw 1, we're gaining a memory. This also works if he is the card that you place underneath. So if he gets slid in because of an effect, you immediately gain his memory off of him. If you've got one already in the level 3 slot and you slide the second one underneath, then you're going to gain 2 memory, triggering each of them. So that's really cool. Also, he's just a nice searcher. If you already have a rookie in raising area and you need to just kind of dig more, you can hard play him. Reveal the top 3 of your deck, add 1 X-antibody and 1 Coda. So we are playing Coda still at this point. Even when we drop Coda, probably next set, and start playing Cool Boy instead, this Dorugoramon, just the inheritable alone, is worth playing it. So we'll still keep him around for at least for that, as well as he does still search an X-antibody if nothing else. So fantastic searcher. We actually have a second searcher. Most decks don't have a second searcher. I think that is so crazy. Like Vmon, I think, is the only other exception in this game. Like, no one else has searchers like this. So another on play reveal 3, add an X-antibody and a UG. So this is going to be your other tamer that you get to add, which I love that balance. That's really fantastic game design. One adds 1 tamer, the other adds the other tamer. Look, he's even Dorugoramon's even in the background of this artwork. Like, how crazy is that? Like, literally completely designed to go with each other. There's a reason that his final form is just a support for Alphamon. Like, literally, like, these two are complete and total bros. But he has the inheritable of all turns. When this Digimon has X-antibody in its traits, it gains decoy. Now, like, this isn't the best. I kind of like hard playing this Ryudomon and then evoing like a Dorugoramon on top of it that has blocker, and then you got a blocker with decoy. So then that's got a nice little cushion to protect your Mega with. So really nice. So your Mega can't get attacked over, and you can use decoy to protect your Mega as well. So either way, fantastic card. Like, literally just lines up to be like, I'm just here to protect the Mega. I'm here to protect Alphamon. Like, that's my whole purpose in life. So I just find that incredibly hilarious game design wise and so fitting. Next is going to be your Synergies, and this is like your main go-to choice in your Evo stack. So right on top of your baby is going to be Synergies, because it's got the inheritable of while this Digimon is black and has 13,000 DP or more, this Digimon gains security attack +1. Like, this works for both Alphamon and Dorugoramon equally. Giving them security attack +1 is so great. Like, he's part of the big combo of how to OTK your opponent with Alphamon, but also this is just a great way to give Dorugoramon, that's a little bit more control focused, gives him some a little bit more punch as well. Now, they do have the ability here of your turn, all of your black Digimon with 13,000 DP or more gain piercing. Like, that could come up. I've almost never had this come up, though. Like, I almost never just have a Synergies just chilling on field for no reason, because at that point, that means I probably just hard played it, and that's a little weird. Like, it is powerful, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think this is a format where you're just going to be, like, kind of hard playing Synergies for no reason. So it is what it is. Mostly he's just here for a rookie with security attack +1 inheritable is like almost unheard of. Like, that is such a crazy strong ability. There's a reason he's a promo. There's a reason he costs as much as he does. Now, that's it for our level 3 package here. Just the 12. It's a little light compared to most builds, or I guess most standard Digivolve into a Mega type of build. Most players are playing like 14, but really there's nothing else that feels like it goes here. Like, anything else just feels like a waste. You either want a x-antibody rookie or you want Synergies. Like, nothing else matters. So if that's the case, then you just keep playing your Kodas to search. You play your Black Memory Boost to search. You know, those sorts of things. You just keep hard playing, you know, your Tamers and such until you draw into the rookies that you want. That's just really all there is to it. Next, for our level 4 package, first up we got Grumblemon. This is just a good game winner. Like, that's really all he is. You know, you go clear your opponent's security, and then you just Evo into a Grumblemon on top of one of your Tamers, and then close the game out. Also, like, Tamers sitting on field, like, your opponent can clear your whole board, but Tamers are a little bit more tricky. There's so few cards in the game that can clear Tamers, especially multiple Tamers. Usually it's like just a one-of Tamer kind of thing. If you have like multiple Kodas on field, there's no way your opponent's clearing 2 Kodas, okay? Black Dorugoramon or not. You know, Black Dorugoramon can only take out 1 Koda at a time. So a memory fixer Koda, like, that's game right there. So yeah, Grumblemon is just a fantastic finisher. Just a 2-of. We do a pretty good amount of drawing here in the deck. We do some limited searches, so I think it's important to have a second one, because if you hard play one of your searchers over here and you reveal a Grumblemon, that Grumblemon gets bottom decked. You know, it's nice to have a chance to draw into a second one later on. Next, we got the Dorugoramon here, and this is going to be your blocker. He's just a level 4 target that's also an x-antibody, so triggers lots of abilities. We can hit it off searches just for nice consistency. Like, a 5k blocker isn't like too impressive. Armors just like run right past this. Pyldramon bottom decks it. You know, it's not doing a whole lot there. I guess, I mean, really even Mastemon is just going to probably delete it right off the field. So if you're relying on this as a blocker, you know, it's not the best. But like I was saying earlier with the Ryudomon, you know, you can go blocker on top of the Ryudomon for some, you know, blocker decoy. But the inheritable is actually really nice. All turns while this Digimon has x-antibody and traits, gives it plus 1,000 DP. So we have our next card here, which also makes has an inheritable of making your x-antibodies blockers. So like, that's a nice little combo, because yes, they're both level 4s, but you can stick sources underneath, so you can actually get 2 level 4s, you know, under the same Digimon. Not unheard of. So blocker, having that extra 1,000 DP on your opponent's turn, you know, that's really you know, solid stuff here. So the blocker on that, skip over this. Another good combination is we can have reboot as well. So Hysterumon here can you know, reboot blocker. That's one of the best things about black, is that having that combination, so you can be offensive on your turn. So swing with your Mega, delete your opponent's stuff, get a couple security checks, and then it reboots and it has blocker. And a rebooting blocker Mega is a beast, okay? It's hard for your opponent to clear that, okay? DP minusing and stuff, that's a lot of DP that you need to minus to delete these guys. So I really like that. Like, blocker megas in this format feels really good. So having reboot also allows you to stay offensive and not just huddling in the corner. Like, I don't know what you're going to huddle forever and never attack me. Like, that's not going to work. You got to attack eventually. So having that reboot underneath is a great combination there. But your turn, the main effect here, your turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with x-antibody and its traits by paying its Digivolution cost. When a Digimon would Digivolve with this effect, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. A really nice combo that you can do is Yuji here, his ability allows you to place a source underneath of your stack when you attack with that stack. And so if you attack with the Hysteriumon, you can use Yuji's ability to slap something underneath it, and then Hysteriumon's own effect will trigger to then Digivolve into something for essentially 2 Evo. Both of our Megas are 3 Evos normally, so those get reduced down to 2. That's pretty nice. And then with Alphamon there, Alphamon's gaining 2 back, so it doesn't matter, you know, what you're at. If you're attacking, then you've got the memory to Digivolve for 2, and then you'll gain that 2 back with Alphamon. So that's a pretty nice combo there. But even otherwise, like Dorugoramon still getting to use his abilities also. Some really powerful stuff here. So really like the Hysteriumon. Taking it back to the Dorugoramon here, this is a fantastic card. This is my ideal preferred level 5 for sure. Has the inheritable of security attack +1 for your x-antibodies, so we already know how great that is. You combine this with Dorugoramon, you know, that's a +2 security with, you know, and then your main hit already, so that's clearing 3 security right there. But when Digivolving, you may place 1 black card with x-antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent effects from deleting it or reducing its DP until the end of your opponent's turn. This is really nice to like swing into like security control, and if they're going to hit you, if you hit like a Wyvern's Breath, the Wyvern's Breath can't touch you. I love that. That's so powerful. But also just being able to place another source underneath. So you can place like a second Dorugoramon underneath to get another security attack +1. You know, that's +3 there with the Dorugoramon. And then your main check also. So that's 4 checks in total. Dorugoramon, fantastic card. Probably the better of the level 5s, I would say. Next up, we got our main Mega here. This is the focus of the build. So your turn for each card with X-Antibody and its traits. This Digimon gets Digivolution, or in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So, so you're gonna have your probably your, you know, maybe your level 3, your baby, your level 4, your level 5. If you slide anything underneath it, you know, that's gonna be +4 +5000 DP underneath this guy pretty easily. So at 16,000 DP, he's hitting over everything that you could possibly imagine in security, except for a single card, and that's just going to be Paladin mode. And even then, Paladin mode is played in such small quantities. Most Imperial Pyldramon Turbo decks aren't even playing Paladin mode. I know I'm testing right now, not using it at all. So like at 16,000 DP, you're probably pretty golden, honestly. Like not really having to worry about a whole lot of anything. But then when attacking once per turn, you may place 1 card with X-Antibody and its traits from your hand at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards to delete up to 2 of your opponent's Digimon with the play cost less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards. So let's do the roll call right quick. How many cards can we get underneath in our very first deck? So you got your baby, you got your rookie, you got your level 4, your level 5. If your level 5 is Dorugoramon, you can use his effect to put another source underneath it. If you use Yuji's ability, when you attack, you get to place another source underneath it. And then Dorugoramon's own ability will put another card underneath it. So on your very first swing with Dorugoramon, you can have 7 inheritables underneath. That's huge. That's absolutely massive. So anything with a play cost of 7 or less, you can delete 2 of them at once. That's massive, like utterly massive. Think about Mastamon, all those 7 play costs or less level 5s that they love so much, or their Gatomons that they, you know, love, that reduce their Evo costs. Being able to delete all those off field is so powerful, especially right before they go into a mass day. That's massive, absolutely like incredible work right there. Also, say your opponent goes into Imperial to like pass their turn, they spit out those 2 level 4s. Now I'm sure that Imperial will probably be suspended. Then you go swing over the Imperial with your Dorugoramon, and then use the Dorugoramon, then pop both of those level 4s. Oh my god, that like feels so good. Like 2 of the best decks in the format, like Dorugoramon, just like pfft, he just does them in. So awesome. Like really awesome deck, honestly. Like, there's a reason I put this deck at the top of A tier in my like x-antibody in general at the top of A tier, just because of how like good they are at actually countering the meta, as well as depending on the build that you go with, you can actually OTK in a single turn. The OTK master here though, Alphamon for the deck. So security, you get to play, you get to add him to hand, but if you have an x-antibody on field, which is actually pretty easy to do in this deck, or a Royal Knight, up to 12 of your opponent's Digimon can't attack players for the turn. Now, they can still attack your Digimon, but that's okay. Just being able to keep yourself alive, I think that's really powerful, especially in this format where you have to deal with a lot of your opponent rushing you, like armors and Imperial, things like that. This thing gets hit in security. His effect goes off and just like shuts down your whole opponent's turn against those really, really fast rush decks. That's pretty good stuff. Like Alphamon, like that alone, it's kind of really worth looking at. But then also, when attacking, you may pay up to 5 memory. If you do, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn for each memory paid, and then at the end of the attack, you gain 2 back. So, you pay 2, you gain 2, keep it on your side. That puts you at 13,000 DP. That triggers like your Synergies getting that security attack plus 1. If you have a Dorugoramon underneath, giving you 1,000 already, then you only need to pay 1 memory to get up to that 13, and then you gain 2 back, so then you just kind of plus 1 off of that. That's really good. If you slap on a second Dorugoramon underneath it, you don't have to pay anything. That's really, really good. But also that added insurance of I can go even further beyond plus ultra here and pay an extra 1, and then I can swing over a Mass Day. Mass Day sitting at 13,000, or if it's sitting at 14,000 because it has or I think that's only on their turn, but I was thinking of the Magna Angemon. But yeah, so just being able to pay an extra, get yourself up to 14,000 to swing over those Mass Day mons. Like, very versatile card, very powerful, gaining 2. The big combo in the Alphamon deck, of course, is attack twice. That first swing, you pay 2, get yourself up to 13,000, gain the 2 back, and then you swing a second time. You don't pay anything on that second swing, and then you just gain 2 memory for free. And that's what allows you to go into a Grumblemon for 2 Evo, is the second swing because of the Alphamon. But we're not worried about super aggro here. If you want to go super aggro, I recommend playing more Alphamon with the secondary mega that supports Alphamon. But here we're going for that control because of, the control of being able to delete your opponent's stuff, armors, the level 4s for Imperial, being able to delete the level 5s for Mass Day, like all these DNA Digivolve shenanigans that all these decks keep trying to do. Like Dorugoramon just like shuts them all down. So I really like the synergy here that you can do. Now, I threw in 2 Zwart defeats. The 3 Evo cost here is just to pop Tamers. If you can go Evo for 3 and pop a Memory Fixer and choke your opponent at the same time, especially like a Memory Fixer against like a Pyodramon deck, where they want to use that 3 play cost Stingmon to then DNA Digivolve. Well, you know what? If I pop that Davis on your side of the field and set you to 1, you're not doing that, okay? You're not doing that. And I think that's a really good synergy there. Just a little bit of added backup. Also, if he gets hit in security, you get to play him out for free. That's a free body. And then if he ever gets deleted, you get to delete any of your opponent's Digimon. Like, he's a very versatile card. Yeah, we like him as a little bit of support to Evo to pop, very important Tamers and very strict situations, but then also just like having a defeat on field at any time is really good. He's a little bit of a flex spot. You don't need defeat. I just kind of like him in here. You can drop him for other things. You could drop him for the support card for Alphamon if you want. Whatever combos you really like to focus in on, you can do that. So just for this particular build, for the control aspect, I think that's a good route. Next is this removal option. I think this is fantastic. I have argued with so many people. If you looked at the Alphamon video and you see the comments, lots of people, aren't really sure about this or like why I played it. De-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. Okay, then you may place 1 card with X-Antibody and its traits from your hand as the bottom Digivolution cards of one of your black Digimon with X-Antibody and its traits to delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. So De-Digivolve 1 in this format. Think about that. Think about how powerful that is, being able to De-Digivolve a Pyodramon, okay? the stack stays, right? It's not like the level 4 split apart. No, they stay, and they can't like use them again. You know, they got to get a whole nother level 4 out to then DNA Digivolve with. Armors, hitting armors, you know, de-Digivolve that armor, and then just pop the Vmon that's underneath it. Like, that's really great. It doesn't even matter if it's like a security control. Being able to de-Digivolve that Rapidmon and then pop the rookie that's underneath it. You know, like, that de-Digivolve 1 in this format is crazy. De-Digivolve a Mastamon. Oh my god, like, that's like a game changer against that deck. Like, de-Digivolve a Mastamon, oh my goodness, like, done. You're done. After, like, that's really, really strong, okay? Just all these decks being able to de-Digivolve 1 and then pop something else, like, that feels really good. For a play cost of 4, that's not too bad. And then in security, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost 4 or less. That's also huge. Being able to, like, armors hit this, like, okay, Digivolve your armor and then pop your rookie that's underneath it. Oh, you played Fire Rocket? Well, too bad. You know, you're not going to get your second check because I'm going to de-Digivolve, then pop it, okay? If this was a Digimon that you hit into, you would armor release and then the Vmon would check one more, you know, but because you hit this card, I de-Digivolve one and then I pop you. Like, this card feels very good, okay? And also getting more cards underneath Dorugoramon to then, you know, swing again and then be able to trigger those abilities to pop more stuff, being able to pop play cost of 8 or 9 at that point because you've got this guy underneath. Like, that's really good, okay? Like, this card feels very busted, this format. You could go with an Ultimate Flare for that de-Digivolve as well, but I don't know. This card being a little bit cheaper feels a little bit better to play for 4 cost rather than the big cost of Ultimate Flare. I do see the argument for Ultimate Flare, but my thing is, like, no one's going to be putting out a whole bunch of stuff, okay? Everyone's going to be like single stacking. Armors are going to use the same Vmon and just keep digivolving on the same Vmon and attacking. Like, you're going to Ultimate Flare me for one single armor? Okay, give me all that memory. I'm just going to bring out another Vmon, like my rookie. I'm going to bring out another rookie and then Evo another level 4. I hope that massive option was worth it for clearing a single level 4 on my field. Even against the Pyldramon decks, you know, like, okay, you're going to de-Digivolve my Pyldramon. That's, you know, okay, not the end of the world. Even a Mastamon deck, you're going to de-Digivolve 1 or de-Digivolve 3. It's not that impactful. Either way, you're not killing it, okay? Ultimate Flare is not going to take down a Mastamon, all right? There's just too many inheritables with that after that DNA Digivolve. It's just not going to work. So whether you're de-Digivolving 1 or 3, you're going to get to the same point against Mastamon. So I think just going for the 1, like, will get you everywhere you want to be. So Digivolve 1 on an armor, you can still pop it. You know, de-Digivolve a Pyldramon, I think that's like the only like bit of difference is the Ultimate Flare in that situation is a little bit more impactful. But against Mastay, doesn't do anything. So yeah, just the 1. Or just one, I think is plenty fine. And you get an extra source underneath your big guy. Next, we got Black Memory Boost. Just another searcher, another dig card. Also gives you some more memory just for more consistency. Any sort of OTK style deck or like big Evo stack deck like this is, getting into a mega, you know, on top of an Evo stack. If you ever miss a piece, a level 5, a level 6, a level 4, being able to make up for that with a Black Memory Boost or being able to search for whatever level you need in that situation, I think it's always like good. If you look at like Jessmon decks, you know, they're playing Red Memory Boost just to boost up their consistency, because if they don't get it into your mega, you just lose, okay? You literally, the deck does nothing unless you get all the way into a mega. You have to get into a mega or you lose. So consistency cards. We're playing a ton of them. We got 8 rookies that search. We've got 3 Black Memory Boost that searches. Next, we got Coda on play. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 x-antibody in its trait among them to your hand. You know, that's more searchers we got. Also, he's a memory fixer. You got to have a memory fixer or you're not going to make it. So, you know, putting yourself at 3, look at your level 5s. Those are 3 Evos. Look at your Megas. Those are 3 Evos. You got to start your turn at 3 memory. If not, you got to have a Black Memory Boost to get yourself up to 3. And then lastly is Yuji, which we kind of talked about off and on throughout this. Your turn, when one of your Digimon with x-antibody and its traits is moved from the breeding area to your battle area, gain 1 memory and draw a card. That's pretty good. That's a good enabler for doing some pretty good combos. And then your turn, when one of your black Digimon with X-antibody in its trait attacks, you may suspend this tamer to place one card with X-antibody in its traits from your hand under that Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Like, this is what I was saying is a good combination with a Hysteriumon to trigger your Hysteriumon. You know, they work really well together. Also, just being able to like add another security attack +1 from another Dorugoramon, you know, whatever the case may be. So Coda sets you to 3 memory. You promote at a raising area. Yuji, you know, gives you an extra 1, so that goes up to 4. You pop a black memory boost that puts you up to 6. So you can promote up a level 4, Evo into like a Dorugoramon for 3. Add a source underneath, and then Evo into your Mega for another 3, and it's still your turn. These 3 cards in combination are actually pretty good. I really like it. Now, like, are they a must-have? No. They just allow you to do these sort of combos one turn earlier, and I think that's kind of like really boss, is just being able to do this stuff a little bit faster. So go into your level 5 and your level 6 in the same turn and still keep it on your turn feels very powerful. So then swing away at that point. Do whatever you want to pass turn, whether it be a defeat, hard play something, hard play a searcher, hard play another tamer, so that way you can get into your Grumblemon, play a black memory boost, so you can try to search out the Grumblemon if you didn't have one already, whatever the case may be. The deck is strong. I don't know what to say. X-antibody is awesome. I don't care if you're playing Alphamon or Dorugoramon. Even if you want to do a combination of both, like I said, if you want to drop the defeat and go for Alphamon's support card, the other level 6, you can do that as well. It works. It really does. You can even drop the Dorugoramon down to 3 and the Alphamon up to 3 and then have 2 of the support card. That works too. And then like literally the rest of the deck just stays there. You're just like literally just tweaking a couple numbers. Like I got it, defeat's expensive. I'm sure that Mega, the Alphamon support Mega, isn't that expensive. Now Alphamon himself is also expensive, but literally everything else in this deck is pennies. Like I'm pretty sure everything else in this deck is less than $1. Like even these super rares, like on the Dorugoramon, like nothing. Like super cheap stuff. If you're just willing to drop a little bit of money on just 2 cards, 3 cards, you'll be set up pristine. Now, I did want to show you that alternative build here. I dropped the Alphamons and I dropped 2 of the Hysteriumons. So if I've only got 4 level 6s that I'm evoing into here with the Dorugoramon, I don't need 8 level 5s. Okay, you don't need it. It's not needed. I mean, look at like a Jesmon deck or like any other of these other decks that we've had in the past. You got 4 Megas. You really only need 6 level 5s. So just a little bit of consistency there. And so what do we do with those extra 4 cards? We added in Final Zubagon Punch. So 2 play cost, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then if that Digimon has 16,000 DP or more, that Digimon gains blocker and security attack +1 until the end of your opponent's turn. And reboot, sorry. So Dorugoramon gets that buff on your turn. Okay, you don't have to attack and like pay memory like you do with Alphamon to get your DP up high enough. Like he's just kind of sitting there. He's already, going to be sitting at like a 14, 15 just innately, just before he even attacks. You can play this Final Zubagon Punch for 2. That extra 3,000 should more than enough get him over the 16,000 DP threshold, which gives him blocker, reboot, and security attack +1. This allows you to get a little bit more offensive with this deck, whereas Alphamon, you can't really do that as well. With this, you can get a little bit more aggressive by playing this card. So you get the Dorugoramon giving you security attack +1, the Synergies giving you security attack +1, the Final Zubagon Punch giving you security attack +1. If you use Dorugoramon or Yuji to put something else underneath, like another Dorugoramon, that's another method of doing it, or the Eisenhowermon. I don't know what to call this. Eisurian. So whatever, all these different ways you get security attack +1. I mean, then you can swing in, you can literally clear your opponent's whole security stack. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, main check right there, 4, and then you just add in another Dorugoramon underneath. That's 5 checks in one swing at, 16 to 20,000 DP. You're plenty strong enough, okay? Whatever you're doing there, you're going to be plenty strong enough. You're going to be more than 16. I can guarantee you that. You're clearing everything as long as you're not hitting any options. That's why I say the Dorugoramon being able to prevent the Wyvern's Breath from taking you out is kind of a little bit important in that matchup specifically. And against other matchups, you really don't have much to worry about. Yeah, you might hit some Hammer Sparks or Ice Wall in security against blue, but like who cares? You're gonna win on your next turn anyway. Like, that's the whole point. Dorugoramon, clear their field and then swing for all their security. Like, you're good. So this is a little bit more aggro focused of a build. Again, you could drop the defeats for something else. I just like them in there for that little bit of extra added security. You know, literally and not literally, just whatever you kind of prefer, I think.